Hey you guys, welcome to a new episode of Food and a Single Guy with me, your very own AMARU. Now I know that I said on the previous video that I was not going to record another cooking video on this cell phone, but honey, when I tell you I managed to do the editing on this cell phone, and compared to the tripods and the lights and the camcorder, I can tell you that it's still relatively easier and quicker. So hence, okay? So, on this episode of Food and the Single Guy, you guys, I am going to make a very simple, quick, easy, and very delicious couscous salad. Now, before you send me any messages or you feel like you need to read me or school me, I know that this is not a traditional Northern African couscous dish. I get it. This is just my own imagination running wild, okay? And I can tell you that it's delicious, so hence me sharing. All right? Now let's get to it, shall we? Okay, you guys, now let's move on to the ingredients because right here I have about 500 grams of couscous. I have 2 large tomatoes, which I have sliced into nice thin strips. I have some raisins, which I have soaked in boiled water. I have some chopped green olives. I have some shallots. I have some feta cheese, and I have some sun-dried tomatoes. Okay, so next what we're going to do, we're going to pour the couscous into this large pan, like so. Upon which we're going to add the raisins. At least this is how I do it. So again, don't try to school me. Everybody cooks the way they cook. All right. Now what I'm also going to add is a little bit of cinnamon. Just a pinch, not too much. I'm also going to add some garlic powder. Just like so. What I'm also going to add is some salt. Just a little bit for taste. And if you so desire, you can add some pepper. There we go. And next, we're going to give this a bit of a stir. It's still a little tricky to film this with the cell phone and do everything with one hand. But I still think that this is, relatively quicker and easier to do these videos. Now, I have used 500 grams of couscous. Now, what I'm going to add to this is 500 milliliters of boiled water. Okay, so you want to use equal amounts of couscous and water, so to speak. So if you use 300 grams of couscous, you want to add 300 milliliters of boiled water. Okay, let's get to it. Here we go. Alrighty then. Now we're going to mix this well, just like this. And then what we're going to do is we are simply going to cover this. Now after about 5 minutes, you just give this a bit of a stir. And as you can see, it has turned into a solid mass of goodness, which is good because this is what you want, okay? There we go. Now what we're going to add to this is about 3 of these spoons of extra virgin olive oil. Just like so. And I know a lot of people are squeamish when it comes to oil. Let me tell you, olive oil contains a lot of healthy fats. Okay? Because some people are very anal when it comes to fat. Anyways, so you give that a bit of a stir, just like this. Ooh, it smells good too. Yes. Now it doesn't look like anything yet, but trust me when I tell you in about anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes, it is going to look like the ish. Okay. Now, what we're going to add now are the shallots. Now the reason I'm adding the shallots first is because the couscous is still hot. Well, hot, warm. It's still warm. So it's going to somewhat soften the shallots. And that is exactly what you want. And it needs a little more oil, I can tell you that much right now, which we're going to add in about a minute. There we go. Next, I'm going to add the olives. Just like this. You give that a bit of a stir too. And make sure to mix everything well, you guys, because you want all of the ingredients to be mixed into the couscous so everybody gets a fair share of everything, you know. Here we go. Next, I'm going to add the tomatoes, the freshly chopped tomatoes. And you gently stir the tomatoes into the rest of the ingredients, and because you don't want to break them up, at least not too much. Okay? And doesn't this look great already? Now, what I'm going to add next are the sun-dried tomatoes. And you stir that well because you want all the ingredients to get to know each other on a very personal level. Yes, hunty. Looks nice, doesn't it? Oh, yes, it does. Now, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to add a little bit of oil, a little bit more oil to this because it's still a little dry and you want it to be moist. Not drenched in oil, but you want it to be moist. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, you guys, so the olive oil was just added, 2 spoonfuls, and I'm going to give that a bit of a stir. And I've also tasted my salad, and according to my taste buds, it can use a little bit more salt, which I'm going to do right now. Like so. And what I also want to add is some pepper. Just like so. You give that a bit of a stir yet again. Make sure to stir well. Now my taste buds also agree with me that it needs a little more cinnamon. So let's get to it. Just a little bit, not too much, because you don't want the cinnamon to overpower the dish. Now next we're going to sprinkle some fresh mint on the couscous and give that a good stir. And you can use fresh mint or dried mint. It's up to you. Now let me go ahead and pour this into a nice dish and give you a serving suggestion. And here you are, you guys. Doesn't that look gorgeous? It sure does. And that, my dear people, is my couscous salad, which I'm sure you will love. Okay, so if you decide to give this one a try, let me know how it turned out, because you know I'm always interested in hearing from you, and I always reply to each and every comment. Okay, now happy cooking, happy eating, and I will see you when I see you. Have a good one. Bye.